What's up, guys? It's Jason Whitaker with the Whitaker Realty Group, and I am in Brownsburg today getting ready to take photos for one of my teammates' listings that's going live today. And one of the benefits that you get as both a customer and an agent with the Whitaker Realty Group is consistency in the products and services that we deliver. When we're doing photography, it's not an agent who's responsible to go through on their own with their own equipment or their cell phone trying to get photographs of listings. Everything is being done professionally and handled at the team level. So not only is that good for agents because they don't have to spend a tremendous amount of time going to these places and taking photos, but it's great for the customers because you get consistent, high-quality photography no matter which agent you choose to work with. That, my friends, is just another great reason to be a customer or a teammate on the Whitaker Realty Group. The most important thing when you're doing good real estate photography is to invest in a decent camera and lens. The camera doesn't need to be super high-end. Something mid-grade is going to be fine. The lens is really what's going to be the most important thing. So for us, we use a Nikon D7200 body. This is a mid-range body with a lot of flexibility, and it's great for people who are amateur pro. They're just slightly better than your average amateur photographer, but they don't need something that's really expensive like a D5. This is a great body, very flexible, and it does a lot of great things. What the trick is for great real estate photography is the lens. Now we have what is called a Tacina 1224 lens. This allows us to get really great wide angle shots without distorting the room and causing that fisheye look that you see on a lot of wide angle lenses. So the equipment is super important. Obviously, you also want to make sure that you have a tripod of some sorts. We have one that allows us to go pretty high. Occasionally we find ourselves needing to take shots that are higher than your standard shot. And so this actually has 3 extension legs to it. Only 2 are active right now. And of course the neck also extends. So this thing will go up to about 6.5 feet high. Next, it's not just a single shot that you take with each room. What we do is what's called HDR bracketed photos. This is when we take 5 different shots of each room, and it's done at different exposures. So each shot does a dark exposure, a slightly lighter one, and then a lighter one again, and a lighter one again. It does 5 of these, and then we take these photos and we layer them on top of each other, and then we can edit the colors, the shadows, and the highlights in the room. So to do that on most cameras, you're going to want to change to burst mode, which on this particular camera is labeled CH, and you want to make sure the dial is set to aperture mode, that aperture priority mode. And then when we take a shot, we're going to take 5 consecutive burst shots, and then we're going to layer those in Photoshop and create an HDR image with them. Okay, this is a great example of a time where we need to have the tripod sitting pretty high. Right now we have it fully extended. All 3 legs are out, and we've got the neck out. And the reason we need it for this particular shot, if you look, we're going to take a down shot into this living room. And in order to be able to do that, get all of that in there, we need to be able to sit at a pretty high angle. Obviously, you can't hold a camera still for 5 consecutive shots and hold it that high. So this is where a very tall tripod is going to come into play. This is another great reason why you use a very tall tripod. As you can see, we're able to position the camera here where it's sitting 2 steps up on the back side and then 1 step or 2 steps down on the front side. And that allows us to get and fine tune it and get a perfect shot without having kind of a crooked angle to the shot. Okay, for bathroom shots, they tend to be a little tricky. The reason is 1, it's a narrow space, and 2, nearly every bathroom has a mirror in it. And I can't tell you the number of times I've seen photographs for listings where the agent or photographer is in the reflection of the mirror. And that's what you want to avoid. So first, with bathrooms, obviously make sure they're clean, make sure the toilet seats are all the way down. And then for your camera, what you want to do is you want to lower this to a very low position. This is actually a little higher than I usually do. Most times I will take the tripod down to its lowest level to take this shot. And then of course for the camera position, you want to shoot it sideways. So this is going to give you a portrait shot instead of a landscape, and it's going to allow you to get more of the bathroom in. If you're facing the mirror directly, when you're doing a bathroom shot, you want to make sure you lower this thing down as far as it'll go. So right now we're up 1 level for one where we're facing the mirror. we would go ahead and go all the way down and then tilt the camera up. What that does is give us an upward shot and catch the floor and all the fixtures and cabinets in the bathroom. Okay, so a lot of rooms are going to be small. They're not open like living rooms and kitchens are. You know, they might be 12 by 13, 12 by 14, which is not huge. And oftentimes you're not going to be able to have a great angle to take that photograph. So what you do is you take your camera tripod and you butt it up against the door, and then you frame in the photo to just where the doorknob is showing without you touching the door. And as you can see from here, I try to get as little ceiling in as possible and show more floor. When you get more ceiling and less floor, it makes the rooms look smaller. And so you'll see very little ceiling in the picture, just enough to have a reference point, and as much floor as possible. Then I reach over, I'm gonna hold this door back. You can see the doorknob is gone now, right? I'm gonna hold that door back when I actually go to take the photograph. Okay, so this is what it looks like when I'm headed straight on to a large mirror and vanity. I'm trying to get that shot. What I do, I lower my tripod down to the lowest setting. And as you can see from the picture there, we're not showing up in the mirror, but we're still able to get a really great shot looking upwards like that. So it still gives the full picture without us actually showing up in the mirror.